Coming up on Point News, some breaking news this afternoon. Senator Al Franken announcing his resignation, why he's deciding to step down. The Steelers left shaken by the injury to Ryan Shazier, what that means for Shazier and the team moving forward. Also this afternoon, bad juju, why the Steelers facing a suspension and what the NFL did to his appeal on that decision. Point News begins now. Good afternoon. We begin with breaking news out of the nation's capital. U.S. Senator Al Franken from Minnesota has announced his resignation. Senator Franken made the announcement in just the 2 hours on the Senate floor, in just the past 2 hours on the Senate floor. This comes amid multiple sexual misconduct allegations. The two-term lawmaker has repeatedly apologized as several women stepped forward to accuse him of sexually inappropriate behavior. Franklin narrowly won his Senate seat in 2008. He also gained fame as a member of the cast of Saturday Night Live and as an author. Another big story this afternoon, Steelers Nation is shaken up. Two star players dealing with some very different problems. One, an injury, the other, a suspension. Point News' Bill Steinbach joins us now for what this all means for the black and gold.
Thanks, Josh. The biggest news coming out of Monday night's game was the injury that inside linebacker Ryan Shazier suffered. And he suffered a serious spinal injury after contact with Cincinnati Bengal receiver Josh Malone. Shazier was carted off the field immediately and transported to an area hospital. On Wednesday, Shazier returned to Pittsburgh, where he is currently receiving medical treatment for an injury at the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center facility. Mike Tomlin had no additional updates on Shazier's condition when he spoke with the media on Tuesday. Shazier will remain in the hospital as doctors continue to evaluate his condition. Now on to this, Steelers rookie Juju Smith-Schuster has had his one-game suspension upheld by the NFL. The appeal was upheld by the league after the appeal. The suspension was for an aggressive hit to Bengal Vontaze Burfict. The hit itself was at an aggressive angle. Smith-Schuster then stood over Burfict after he hit him. He immediately apologized after the game for his actions. Now all of the uproar from this is coming after the NFL gave the same penalty to Patriot Rob Gronkowski for a clearly malicious hit this weekend. Smith-Schuster claims that the hit was unintentional.
Thanks a lot, Bill. Now it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and that means it's beginning to look a lot like winter. Temperatures dipping heading into the weekend. Some snow flurries throughout the day today. Casey Houlihan is here now. Casey, what are we looking at for today's weather?
So it's already begun to snow. We have had an on and off throughout the day. Finally starting to look like winter, here in Pittsburgh. So I'm excited about it, but the temperatures are going to be in the 30s. I have a forecast later in the show, which you'll know more about what you can look forward to this weekend. But as of today, it's a winter-like day. The lows are going to be in about 22 degrees. So you're definitely going to want to bundle up when you're heading back home after work today.
Yeah, so I walk outside, my black coat gets covered in the white flurries. What a time of the year it is, that time of year.
Yes.
Finally. Thank you so much, Casey.
You're welcome.
Well, President Donald Trump is making headlines again following his decision to move a U.S. embassy to Jerusalem, thereby recognizing it as the capital of Israel. It's a controversial move for sure, and it follows a series of incidents that have raised eyebrows in some circles. Among them last week, the president using what some deem a racial slur during an event for a Native American war hero. He also retweeted graphic anti-Muslim videos that were initially posted by a far-right British hate group. And he's continued a series of other inflammatory tweets. This all happening as the crisis with North Korea is escalating, with that country performing its first missile launch in 2 months last week. President Trump has threatened more sanctions against North Korea in the wake of that launch. We recently told you that the United Student Government appointed a new president, and while sophomore Kaylee Kearns was transitioning into office during Thanksgiving break, USG was presented with another vacancy to fill. President pro tempore Daniel Murphy announced his resignation before the return from Thanksgiving break. The junior also resigned from his position as a senator representing the Conservatory of Performing Arts. USG filled the spot in this first day back from break at its weekly Monday meeting. Sophomore Haley Hoffman will step into the position. She has served on USG since her freshman year and is currently a member of the Finance Committee. Murphy did not comment on his reasoning for resigning. Point Park's campus radio station held its annual Rockathon fundraiser before Thanksgiving break, and one event was extra sweet. Pie the President returned for another year at WPPJ's Rockathon. Now, for just a $1 donation, students could pie United Student Government President Bobby Bertha. The event was part of the radio station's annual 67-hour fundraising event. Pie the President raised around $50. All proceeds benefited the Early Learning Institute of Pittsburgh. Bertha found that his only strategy was to get rich, or pie trying.
I thought I was prepared, but once I got here, I was severely underprepared.
Rockathon raised over $1,100 this year. The station also raffled off prizes and sold various baked goods. Now, the Christmas season has arrived in Pittsburgh, and you saw him talking about the Steelers a few moments ago, but now our Point News reporter Bill Steinbach is catching up with students to talk about the decorations throughout the city.
Now that Thanksgiving has passed, that means that the Christmas and holiday season are upon us. And what does that mean? Well, Christmas and holiday decorations can be found throughout the city and throughout the campus of Point Park University. Here in Boulevard Apartments, candy canes can be found in the hallways, as well as various other areas downtown with lights, trees, and various other holiday decorations.
Yeah, there's an appropriate amount throughout the city. It's so much that you can see them, but not so much that it's disruptive for anybody that doesn't celebrate the holiday, which I personally, if I didn't, would find somewhat offensive.
What's your favorite of the decorations?
Easily the tree at the Point. It's the biggest one, it stands out the most, it shines the brightest, and you can see it from anywhere in the city.
It's extremely festive. I feel like it makes Pittsburgh more of like a Christmas wonderland and not so just like the whole industrial look to it. Once the snow hits the city, that's when all the lights look a little bit more luminous and all the trees look a little bit more green.
As we get closer to the Christmas season, holiday and Christmas decorations are likely to become more abundant throughout downtown Pittsburgh. Reporting downtown for Point News, I'm Bill Steinbach.
Ahead on Point News, they're a Pittsburgh favorite, pierogies, where you can get some good eats without leaving downtown Pittsburgh.
I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too.
Spending just 7 minutes climbing stairs each day cuts your risk of a heart attack in half over 10 years. Sure, elevators are convenient, but you burn twice the number of calories just going upstairs than you do while jogging. Think about how long you spend waiting for elevators. The average person spends the equivalent of 2 years waiting for elevators over the course of their lifetime. Don't let that be you. Save time and increase energy. Next time, take the stairs.
I tell these guys all the time to stick to talking sports and not playing sports.
Here we go. Ready? Didn't make it.
Welcome back to Point News. Pierogies have always been a staple of Pittsburgh cuisine, and now a new area restaurant is all about the craft of pierogi making. Point News reporter Claire Costello has the story. Claire?
If you're in the area or seeing a show, the Stuffed Pierogi Bar is the place to go. Let's take a look.
Pierogies of all shapes, sizes, and combinations. This is the Stuffed Pierogi Bar, right here in the Cultural District of downtown Pittsburgh.
We wanted to bring something in the downtown into the Cultural District that was going to stand out. You know, everybody has a niche downtown, and being the pierogies are Pittsburgh, why not bring it to Pittsburgh?
The Stuffed Pierogi Bar carries one of the biggest selections of pierogies around. Just recently opening in September, Stuffed Pierogi Bar has made itself known for its all things pierogi style entrees and desserts.
We mix pierogies with the actual entree itself, and we get a chance to be creative, you know, with what we put inside of the pierogies, with the desserts, with everything that we can do.
Stuffed Pierogi Bar is open 6 days a week for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
It's an amazing place. I wouldn't have believed how far we would have come. It's millions of baby steps, but we have gone hundreds of miles in those baby steps. That's why we're going to do outside seating out there come the spring. Benham Center being right there with some of the most amazing shows. They bring in great casts. This little area it's the heart of downtown.
You can check out their menu and more on their Facebook page as well. For Point News, I'm Claire Costello.
Thank you so much, Claire. Fast food restaurant Arby's is buying the Buffalo Wild Wings for roughly $2.9 billion, which includes assets and debt currently owned by the Buffalo Wild Wings brand. Arby's, which is owned by the Roark Capital Group, says that the purchase will make Buffalo Wild Wings a private company. The sports bar-themed restaurant will continue as its own independent brand. Coming up next on Point News, a check on your weekend weather, plus the latest in the Matt Lauer scandal and how Netflix is rebuilding its House of Cards without the show's star.
T. Why should you watch and focus?
Because, why not?
Turn. Why should you watch and focus? Because I produce it.
Welcome to In Focus.
Hello. This is so we don't run out of time.
Put up a goal just because it...
And a little bit closer, please. Let me bring this in. Yeah, I wanted to do a game. So, game time. All right, game over. Oh, wow. Did we get that?
Darius, why are you watching Focus? Because In Focus is great. Chris! Game time! Game time! It's not game time. It's a promo.
Start your morning with us. I'm your host, Jess Paterchek.
And I'm your host, Alex Gross.
Good morning and welcome to another episode
That is what
of
happened at
Daybreak.
the
I'm your
cathedral.
host, WPXI. The state wants to take $357 million out of a trust fund that is
that
typically
wintry
devoted.
mixed stuff could get me.
I care for you.
What up? The diva himself. Only on Daybreak.
55% of all U.S. multiracial adults have been subjected to racial slurs or jokes.
Where were you born? Being smart,
pale,
to Filipino,
to
go
white.
back to Mexico.
There goes that black boy over there. You like fried chicken because you're light skinned. You are a cop. You think that you're better than us. The N-word.
They're good at jumping or climbing. Border hopper, made taco, English your second language. Where's your green card?
Cut the jokes, stop the stereotypes.
Welcome back to Point News. No word yet on who will replace the fired Today Show host Matt Lauer. He was dismissed last week after NBC received a detailed complaint from a colleague about inappropriate sexual behavior, and the network said it may not have been an isolated incident. Published reports said Lauer was seeking a multi-million-dollar settlement from the network, but NBC has said it has no intentions of paying up. A house rebuilt. Netflix has announced the production of the award-winning drama series House of Cards will resume in the new year without star Kevin Spacey. Spacey has been removed from the show amid a series of sexual misconduct allegations. The 6th and final season of House of Cards will instead focus on co-star Robin Wright. No word yet on when it'll hit streaming services. Yes, it's true, there were some flurries flying around downtown Pittsburgh this afternoon, and as we mentioned earlier, and believe it or not, there is more to come. Let's check in with our Casey Houlihan for a look at this weekend's forecast. Casey?
That's right, Josh. This weekend is going to continue to be a winter wonderland. Thursday's forecast is behind me, but the rest of the week's going to look pretty similar. So you can expect snow, colder temperatures, and there we go. On Friday, it's similar to today. You'll have less chance of precipitation, though, so it probably won't snow. But going into Saturday and Sunday, we have a chance for some of that snow to come around again. So really, if you haven't already broken out your winter coat, your hats and gloves, you're going to want to do it for this weekend.
Well, thank you so much, Casey. It's the talk of Pittsburgh. That Steelers win in Monday Night Football in a very intense game. How the team is now getting ready for Baltimore. That's coming up when Point News returns.
One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. Two can be as bad as one. It's the loneliest number since the number one.
I love you.
I love you more.
I love you more.
Tried, okay?
I swear you can never do anything right. You're such a sorry sack of... Sweetie, tell me this will last forever.
Of course, babe.
I swear living with you is like living in a nightmare. Can't even look at your ugly face. I'm sorry. Babe, can we just put this all behind us? All water under the bridge?
Good evening and welcome to Newsnight. I'm Josh Troop alongside Jess Paterchak.
Defending his decision to kick out 15 Cuban diplomats from the United States.
Thanks, Allison. Fitness on Demand has returned to Point Park.
Residents fear that Mount Agung will have a repeat of 1963's eruption.
Two-star NFL quarterbacks made the headlines this week after wrapping up.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening. That's your news tonight. For Nick Tomarello, I'm Alex Grubbs. Have a great night.
Welcome back to Point News. All of Pittsburgh is still talking about Monday night's Steelers game. For a look at that and other big sports headlines, let's bring back our Bill Steinbach. Bill?
Yeah, thanks, Josh. Yeah, the Steelers, they were victorious on Monday night in Cincinnati against the Bengals in a 23-20 victory, although the victory wasn't what was important at the end of that game. Monday night's game was more violent than expected, bringing a slew of injuries and penalties being handed down from the league officials. Moving on to hockey, the Pittsburgh Penguins had their hopes of 5 wins in a row snapped on Tuesday night at the PPG Paints Arena. The New York Rangers were victorious with a third-period goal to make the final score 4-3. The Pens are back in action tomorrow at home against the New York Islanders. And moving on to auto racing, 7-year-old Leo Gordon, the son of 4-time NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series champion Jeff Gordon, turned his first laps in a race car earlier this week. Jeff posted on social media this week a few videos of son Leo turning some laps in a quarter midget, which is a small open-wheeled race car designed to give kids the chance to get behind the wheel and learn the basis of race driving. So, could Leo be the next chapter in the legendary chapter in the Gordon racing history books? We'll have to find out. Josh, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Bill. Now that's going to do it for this semester's Point News. Be sure to join us next semester live on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Have a fantastic week.